Hello everyone. In this video, we will discuss what is a programming language and how to program in high-level languages like C and C++. Now, generally, whenever I talk to my students about programming languages, some students find it difficult to write programs. The problem is not necessarily that they don't understand the syntax, but the problem is they don't know how to convert the logic into that syntax. Learning the syntax, like how to write a if statement, how to write the functions, that is not a difficult part, but learning how to convert those mathematical operations and complex statements into the syntax, that is the main problem. And this is something that you will gain through practice. So generally students come with the assumption that in the first class itself they will make an operating system. So that is not possible. You have to start with small programs. You have to write programs for reading the values, for printing the values, for loops, if decision structures and switches. Then you have to look at the file handling, and after all these concepts have been understood, you can actually think about writing something more complicated like a project. So it's a step-by-step development. You have to start from very small programs to the actual projects which you design in the final year. So this tutorial is for the students who want to learn programming, for anyone who wants to learn programming. And in this particular video, we will be discussing that what actually programming is. The programming is basically writing instructions for the computer, which it will read one after the other and execute. And as the computer is executing those instructions, the task for which you have written that particular program or designed that computer, that should get fulfilled. For example, it's a washing machine. So in the washing machine, there is a software part, there is a firmware which controls the working of the washing machine. So in the washing machine, the setting is there. After the user will set that what water is to be taken, how much water, then how much times the machine has to process the clothes before it can throw away the water, how many times to rinse, then how many minutes to dry the clothes. So all these settings in an automatic machine, these are inputs. And then there is a software within that washing machine that is going to make sure that all the parameters which have been set by the user, they are met and the washing is taking place appropriately. Similarly, we can take an example of a mobile phone. In a mobile phone also, there is a screen where you tap on a particular icon and the app will open, and in the app there is some desired goal that has to be fulfilled. So whatever instructions you're giving to the computer, there is a purpose behind giving those instructions, and that has to be very clear in your mind. Only when you are clear that what is to be done and how it is to be done, you can actually write a program. Till the what, how is not clear, the program cannot be written. Then in what language you have to write the program? There are three generations of languages. There is a first generation, which is the machine language, in which it is all binary zeros and ones. Then there is the second generation, which is the mid-level language, in which the assembly language is there. And then there is the third generation, which is the high-level language, in which we have Fortran, C, C++, all the languages which we see, Java. They belong to the high-level language paradigm. Then there is a fourth generation of languages which is developing recently, in which you don't have to specify the how, you just have to tell the language what is to be done. And the example of this is SQL queries and PL/SQL, in which you, SQL queries and Prolog, in which you don't have to give the how, you just have to tell what is to be done, and the language has the intelligence to do that. So we are coming to the generation where soon automatic programming will happen and the computer will write programs, and having the basic knowledge of programming is very important, so that tomorrow when we live in a world where everything will be programmed and everything will be machine and computerized, we should be able to do the groundwork for ourselves so that we understand and we know how to communicate with those devices. So the high level language code which we write, that is a C language code or a C++ code language code that we write, that needs to be converted into machine code, and for this purpose we need compilers. So there is a language in which you write the code, and that code is given to the compiler. Compiler will compile that code and generate the object file. In case you want to learn more about the object files and linkers and loaders and compilers, then there is a video which I have shared in another playlist, that is physical address space and the logical address space. You can understand more about the working of the compiler from that particular video. And here we can just cut it short, and I am going to introduce this particular tutorial from the next video onwards. I am going to start with the learning of C language programs. I hope this video is useful to you. Some information has been provided about how and why to program, and in the next video we will start off with C language. So all the best to you, and thank you.